Okay, there's a lot of news floating out there that you need to update the firmware to communicate with the Pytes battery and the SOK battery. This is a brand new inverter. In fact, our stock is full over there. This is you can see the model, the date that it was created in there is 2022. If you can see there, like the 6th, yep, that's June 2022 this thing was made. So brand new unit, we can connect it up to the Pytes battery. So we're just going to put the cables on for the battery and start the unit up quickly. And there they are, quickly, click, click cables. And you'll notice all the dip switches are down. Nothing else is set, all right? And we're going to use the RS485 port. This is a new battery now. The older battery, the ports look a bit different, but the pinouts on this are different as well. So here's a cable we made up, pins 1 and 2. Pin 1 goes to pin 3 on the inverter. This is the inverter, that's the battery. And pin 2 from the battery goes to pin 5 on the inverter. We plug that into the RS485 port. And then we plug obviously this cable is going to get made up differently. This is just a test cable to show you that it works. Okay? It's going to go into the lithium ion port. It says there lithium ion. All right, let's turn the inverter on. Turn the battery on first. Okay. All right. So this is a brand new inverter, brand new battery. We're going to test this on the SOK battery next. Okay. We go into the menu. We go to setting number 5. That's set to AGM right now. Set that to PYL. And then push escape. And once this battery icon over here starts flashing, we know that there's communication. There you go. So we know the battery is now communicating with the inverter. If we pull this plug out over here, you'll notice we're not trying to pull the wool over your eyes. Within a short while, we'll start getting a fault light coming on. We'll get fault 61, and the inverter will shut down after 12 minutes. Okay, so there you go, fault 61. So just to prove to you, no firmware update needed, okay? Put the cable back in right now, and a few seconds later, fault 61 is gone. Okay, now we're going to run the same inverter, the LV6548, on a SOK battery. So these are the brand new SOK batteries, the new models that have come out. Okay, there's a whole pallets full of them. Just so happens this is the first SOK battery from the new battery we've got. You can see there from current connected, and the output voltage on this thing is like 0.1 volts, and the switch is on and everything. So the unit's kind of dead in the box. We've hit the reset button, so now we're going to have to put a power supply onto it. Let's see, what is it now? 1.4 volts. So we use every crisis as a teaching point. So we're going to this is always a good thing. Get a bench power supply. They're less than $100. Well worth their weight in gold. Anything that needs charging anytime in the future, you can just turn it on there. Let's see what voltage is set to. Okay, 28. Let's jack it up to 50 volts or so. And we put that on to the battery, and instantly the battery comes alive. Okay, so we set it to 52 volts, so the BMS must have been tripped on this guy. So now we're going to check to see that the RS485 cable, without even connecting the battery, because I'm going to run it off this Pytes battery. You might say I'm cooking the books over here, but all I'm doing is really powering the inverter up, and we're just going to make sure the communications work. Okay, so if I wanted to, I could run power cables from there, connect it up to the inverter, but the inverter already has power. We just want to see if communication works. Okay, we turn this guy on. Okay, so we managed to wake our battery up. Apparently the BMS must have shut off because it's been in sleep for such a long time. But yet it is, I think at 57%. We looked on the menu over here. And They're 57.73%. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we can switch our power supply off because the battery's awake. So that's why it's a good thing to have a little power supply now to wake your battery up. All right, so this battery is completely standalone. We can switch it off and turn it on again. All right. So now our inverter, we're using the same cable pinouts now as the Pytes batteries. Pins 1 and 2 on the battery go to pins 3 and 5 on the inverter respectively. Okay, so now we're going to set this inverter battery type to PYL. All right, and let's see what happens. We're going to see if the communication works. So we've got that communication cable plugged in to that port over there and to the RS485A port over there. Okay, and what do you know? It's communicating straight out the box. No firmware update. What we did have, we found that this thing was flashing fault code 4 over there. We couldn't figure out why. And we found out that if we flipped all these switches that are off right now, we put number 1 on, fault code 4 stopped straight away. So obviously it cannot communicate with address 0. So that's why fault code 4 is showing low battery. So it couldn't pull the statistics. The moment we put this switch to number 1, fault code 4 disappeared and everything worked just perfectly. Okay, so there we go. We didn't even put any software or any computers onto anything right now, just out the box as you see it. Thanks for watching.